Hello everyone, welcome to the Rise of the Tamils channel. My name is Arjun. Today we are going to talk about Seemans Vision for India and how Seemans economic policy is going to greatly help and assist India in reaching a great economic powerhouse. Now let's go into the vlog. Okay, today we are going to talk about the economic policy that Seeman has been proposing. My brother Seeman has been proposing for Tamilar. But when I spoke to him, I did mention that okay, this economic policy that you are suggesting or recommending is not going to be only for Tamil Nadu. It is actually going to benefit the whole of India. If India is able to follow the economic policy that my brother Seeman, my Annan Seeman, is proposing for Tamil Nadu, then India will be a great economic powerhouse, and our economy will be not shallow but will be very deep, and that is what we need to do. All right, let's talk about what exactly Seeman Annan is proposing as his economic policy. Now, we have been trying to grow or develop India from the top-down approach. Like, we have our corrupt bureaucrats and politicians who are swindling all the money, taxpayers' money, and the money is not reaching the common people who are in the villages, right? So we are thinking it in the inverse version. So what Seeman Annan is proposing is go to the villages and fix the villages and make sure that rural economy is growing so that India will benefit from it. Now, for people, when you are listening to this for the first time, you might be surprised, why do we need to do this? But we have got a case study, and that's what we are going to discuss in this video. Now, let's take a sample. The sample is actually one of the states in the US. California is one of the top states in the US. We all know that US has 50 states, and California is one of the 50 states in the US. Whenever you hear about California, the first thing that comes to your mind is the Hollywood studios. Like, all the movies that are made are in Hollywood studios, which is in Los Angeles, is a city in California. And we think about all the high-tech companies, any startup which you talk about, like Facebook or Apple, they have their offices in the heart of Silicon Valley, which is right around SFO, the San Francisco neighborhood, right? So, having said that, we are going to talk about how agriculture is being done in California. We are going to take California as a case study, and we are going to give you examples of how California is using agriculture to grow its economy. Why do we need to take California? That's a really good question. California is having the fourth largest economy in the world. I'll explain you again. California is now ranked as having the fourth largest economy in the world. The first one is the US. US has the highest economy. The second one is China as a country. Third one is Germany. But California, a state in the US, one of the 50 states in the US, has 4.1 trillion as its economy. So obviously we looked at California and we thought this would be a really good case study for our economic policy that my Annan Seeman is proposing. So let's go into this. Whenever you think about any case study, we need to start with some sort of facts, right? Some statistics which is going to back up our claim. If you go into the California Department of Agriculture, you can scan this QR code, and if you go into the California Department of Agriculture, it will take you to a place where it clearly mentions what are the commodities that California is exporting to other parts of the world from California. There are around 57 items, 57 commodities that's been listed, and each one of these items is being exported from California to other parts of the world. All these are agricultural commodities. So let's assume that you take your car, right? You take your car and you want to ride through California so that you can look at all the agricultural commodities that grows there. California as a state, if you really look at it, it is actually the width of California is very small, but the length of California from north to south, California, that's how California is elongated. Let's say you start from the south. Now, why do you need to start from the south? That's a really good question, right? Now, very simply, I'll give an example which will surprise you, and that is why we want to start it from the south. There are 5 different types of lands. We all know that, right? I mean, Tamils, when they actually distinguish the land, they distinguish the land into 5 different types. First thing is sea and seashore. The second one is mountainous regions. And the third one is the forest. Fourth one is the agricultural land, plain agricultural lands. And the fifth one is desert. California, in the southern part of California, there is a desert. So what do they grow there? I mean, you'd be surprised what is going on there. That particular place is called as Coachella Valley. Basically, this is what happened. Like 100 years ago, the Californians decided that we should grow something in this land. Although it was a desert, they decided that we should grow something in this land. So they took the soil and then they actually sent it to the lab and they tested it out. And the lab results were you can grow dates here. All right. So what they did was they brought some sample dates from Africa and other Middle East countries, and they tried to plant it there, and dates actually grew successfully there. So they thought that this would be a good economic model for us, and they started harvesting dates. And this has been going on in Coachella Valley for more than 100 years.
The USDA, trying to find food sources for a growing population, imported the fruit from Africa and the Middle East, setting up experimental plantations in the US. It soon became clear there was just one place where they'd grow best.
Alright, so 95% of the dates that we consume in the US actually comes to us from Coachella Valley. After our consumption, whatever is in excess, California actually exports dates to other parts of the world. Can you believe it? Whenever you think about California, talk about all this Facebook, Apple, Google, Amazon, all these high-tech companies. But look at the importance that has been given to agriculture commodities in California. So they actually export dates, and I think it is in the 27th list. In the list of commodities, I think it is in the 27th place where they actually mentioned that dates is being exported to other parts of the world. That particular list, which you're going to scan and get, it's going to contain all the information about what are the commodities that's been exported and which country imports all these commodities, and also which commodity is being exported to which country in a higher metric ton. All this information is captured in that statistics section of the California Department of Agriculture. You ever stayed in the south, you took a trip and you are in south, and you see in Coachella Valley dates are growing and they are exporting it. Now if you keep moving to the north, towards the north, there is a place called the Central Valley of California. This is one of the most fertile parts of California, and you know what they are exporting? I'm going to give you an example for this. India actually exports a lot of commodities that's grown in Central Valley, and I'm going to give you that. The first thing that India is importing is, I think, almonds. Almonds is being imported by India, which is being grown in the Central California region. So these are the 5 top commodities that California is exporting. Number 1 is almonds. Almonds is being exported towards around 40,000 crores. So California exports around 40,000 crores of almonds every year, which is grown in the Central California. The second one is milk and milk products. Around 27,000 crores of milk and milk products are being exported to other parts of the world. The third one is pistachios. Pistas is being exported around 17,000 crores. 17,000 crores of pistachios are being exported every year. The fourth one is actually wine. Wine and wine products are being exported around 10,000 crores. The last one is again a nut, which is walnut, and walnut is being exported around 10,000 crores. So 40,000 crores for almonds, 27,000 crores for milk and milk products, 17,000 crores for pistachios, 10,000 crores for wine, and 10,000 crores for walnuts. These are some of the top 5 commodities that's being exported to other parts of the world from California. I actually created a video. My good friend Kanwar, he has an almond farm, and a lot of Punjabis actually does farming in California. So one of my friends, Kanwar, we shot a video and we released it in the release of Rise of the Tamils channel, and you can actually look at it. He explains how almonds are grown. We were able to go to his farm and explain all these techniques. And I also created another video for how wine is being produced and how wine is being exported in my Tamil YouTube channel. So we could see, if you're going through a car, you could see that there's a lot of places you will only see almond trees, because almond is the #1 cash crop for California. Now they are not just exporting almonds. The way they do it is they set up some small scale industries where they harvest the almonds, all right, and then they send it to the small scale industries where they can hull, and they can use the hull for something else, right? The outer shell of the almonds, there are 2 shells in an almond. So they take these 2 shells and they try to do some other value added products from these shells. So just the almond alone is not a cash crop. Even the shell of almonds is being used for something useful. So everything is money, everything is finance here. After you look around and then you'll see that everything is being exported from Central California. One surprising fact that you can find is, if you actually look at it, they have set up a California board of almonds. They have set up a pistachio board of almonds. They have set up walnut board of almonds. What do these boards do? Now let's say you want to import almonds that are grown in California. If you contact the California Almond Board, they will help you and they will tell you what type of almonds do you need, and they will be able to export that almond so that you can import it. So everything that grows in the soil is actually they are actually able to export it, and they have set up boards so that you can contact them. They are actually marketing all their products. That's how it's being done in California. Now you have done everything. You want to move from Central Valley and you want to go still further up north. You are in the northern part of California. Northern part of California is perfect place to grow grapes. Now, if I'm pretty sure most of you would have heard of Napa Valley. Napa Valley is one place where they grow grapes, and they just don't grow grapes, right? They actually set up small factories where they produce wine. California produces some of the best wines in the country, and they just don't produce wine, they also export it. They also export fresh grapes. They also export dried grapes. So from grapes, they are able to produce wine, fresh grapes, and raisins, and they are able to export all of it. You could actually go and look at in the list, in the 57 commodities, it will all be noted there. So we now know that from Southern California, which is a desert, they are exporting dates. From Central California, they are exporting all these trees, that comes from it, the nuts that comes from these trees. And from the Northern California, they are exporting wine, which comes from grapes. This is what California is. If you really look at it, they just don't export all this value. They also export vegetables. You would be surprised that they are exporting onions, they are exporting tomatoes, they are also exporting tinned tomatoes and canned tomatoes. They are exporting also garlic. Can you believe it? California is exporting garlic. They are also exporting fresh fruits. They are exporting California cherries, blueberries, strawberries, and oranges. Everything is being exported. Now, when you think about oranges, you should not just think about oranges. How can I make orange juice, right? Value addition to all these agricultural commodities, and how can I export it? This is how California is able to produce a lot of money. You'd be surprised that California is not even in the top 10 on its economic indicators, yet they give very good importance to agriculture, because they know that agriculture is the backbone of the economy that drives everything. All right. Now, if you really think about it, what is wrong in exporting agricultural products? You'll be able to grow your rural economy. People will be able to feel that they will have some sort of hope. The farmers in India, any state you go, they don't have hope at all. I could see that in farmers in Maharashtra, farmers in Tamilar, they are all farmers. Even if they are speaking different languages, a farmer is a farmer. So if we need to help them, then we should provide them some hope. When they go to when they go to a farm and toil all day in this hot sun, they should have some hope that, okay, whatever I'm producing, I'll be able to monetize it, and I will be able to get some money out of it, right? That should be at the back of the mind. I'm going to work every day, but I don't know whatever I'm growing, whether it's going to be successful or not. So the government of India, each individual state should go to the rural places and help these farmers so that India can prosper. Always remember this. Only when the farmers of India is going to prosper, that is when India's prosperity will be. Or else our growth will be very shallow, it will not be deep. This is exactly what my brother Seeman is proposing. So when Seeman comes to power as the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, this is what we are going to do. We are going to plant 10 crores of palm trees. Now, for people may not have heard about palm trees in other parts of the India, but palm is something that is that has been helping Tamils for a very long time. You could get a lot of value-added products from palm, especially palm sugar. You know why palm sugar is very important? Because palm sugar is low glycemic. It is all natural and all organic. So if we will be able to export palm sugar to other parts of the world from Tamil Nadu. So 10 crore palm, that is what our plan is. The next plan is 10 crore coconut trees. Why do we need coconut trees? Let me give you some of the value-added products that we can get from coconut. We can get coconut milk from coconut trees. We can get coconut water from coconut trees. We can get expeller pressed coconut oil from coconut trees. We could we can take the coconut, dry it out, and then we can export the dried coconuts. We can also use the coir factory. We can also set up coir factories, which comes from coconut. We can also use the coconut shell for making coal. These are some of the examples of value addition that can be done from coconut trees alone, which means that you can employ local people, set up small size factories, and give them job so that they will be able to lead a successful life. All right. After palm and coconut trees, we are going to concentrate on 3 fruits or 3 different types of fruits that ancient Tamils revered. One of them is mango, right? The second one is jackfruit. The third one is banana. All this, mango, jackfruit and banana, you can prepare a lot of value-added products. You can export dried mangoes. We are getting dried mangoes in the US from Philippines. So you can export dried mangoes and mango juice. You can export jackfruit, because a lot of vegans here wants to eat something that is very close to meat. Something very close to meat is jackfruit. All right, you can export jackfruit. And the third one, banana. You can export lot lot of different types of indigenous bananas, and also you can actually create caskets which from the banana fiber. IKEA, which is very next to my house, they are actually selling these from India, from Tamil Nadu, from Madurai. So think about this for a second. Only when the rural economy improves in India, India will be able to prosper. So this is what my brother Seeman is proposing. This is his vision. And when he gave this vision, and when I was talking to him, I informed him, I don't think you are proposing it just for Tamil Nadu, because your vision for the rural economy is actually for the whole of India, because it is going to benefit India. This is exactly what I told him. And I gave you statistics. I did a case study with California, and I told you that California, the place where all these high-tech factories, where Hollywood movies are being produced, is able to export all these agricultural commodities, then why can't India able to export a lot of other items too? Do you agree with me? If you have any reservations about this policy, please feel free to comment and leave your comment in my YouTube channel. Again, thanks a lot for watching this. I will see you in another video. Thank you.